Evening, everybody. Not everything Kevin said was actually true. But first of all, thank you for having me here tonight, and hope I can share. I'm going to share a bit of my story. Hopefully, there's questions I'll take at the end. Firstly, this is me, young and beautiful. Now I'm just beautiful. Yeah. So I'm just going to share my story about where I started and how I grew up and how I ended up to be an Olympian and got opportunity to go to Rio de Janeiro. Never thought I'll go there as a kid. But my name is Cecil Afrika. Obviously born in South Africa, grew up in Port Elizabeth, a place called Missionville. I don't know if that is a photo there. This is our house where I grew up in. This is how it looked. It was tough some days, some nights. Every day was a challenge for me growing up. My dad was staying with us. My dad's name is Cecil. My mom's name is Rachel. Obviously, I had a sister. The biggest challenge for me was to see my dad every single day. That God blessed us. He was literally drunk every single day of his life. You know that God blessed us with. And then I just told myself at a young age, about like 5 or 6 years old, I told myself that is not an example that I want to be following one day. I want to make a living out of my life. I don't know how, but I managed to fall in love with the game of rugby. I don't know, you guys might hear that I stuttered a lot, and my stutter was very, 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 very bad as I was a kid. And I was scared to interact with people. I was having a conversation, I would stutter, and in our community they will make fool of you all day long. And by playing rugby, I never was allowed to have long conversations. And that is where I found peace and happiness, just by throwing the ball around. And I never knew that me running away from my problem could make me see the world, you know. And then every single day we used to play 3-on-3, 2-on-2s, touch rugby. And for me that was the best. And I've never dreamed of maybe play one day for the Springboks. I just knew this is the place where I find my peace and happiness. And then then one of my best friends' name is David Raguner. He got opportunity to go to the Free State, to development school. How these programs work is they go into the rural areas, go to kids who doesn't get opportunities, try and fund them to give them an opportunity. But how it works is they give you 3 months, say maybe from January to end of March, to develop your skill in a specific position, whether you're prop, whether you're hooker, whether you're scrum up, whether you're flyer. Then they develop that skill. If you don't pass the standard in terms of kicking, passing, or the fundamentals of that position, then they'll send you back home. And then he found me. He's like, hey, here is an opportunity. Maybe would you like to come? And at that time, my mom was a domestic worker, so she earned about 450 rand a month. I don't know how much is that.
75 shekels.
75 shekels a month, you know. And she had to pay my school fees, she had to put food on the table, she had to pay my books, school clothes, everything. And then for me, I just wanted an opportunity to give my mom financial freedom. I don't know what I was doing, but I knew if I'm leaving the house here now, then my mom doesn't have to worry about my school clothes or books and stuff like that. When he phoned me, I told him, I'm there, when can I come? Obviously the coach came down, we did a couple of drills, and then obviously I got the opportunity. And then that was the opportunity I was looking for, just to make sure that I can give my mom financial freedom. And then my mom used to send me every second month 100 rand, just to make sure that I could buy me some toiletries. And the funny thing is, my best friend, I don't even have a bank account. Then my friend said my mom will put money to his bank account, and I must pay cost on that 100 rand. So then I'll get out maybe like 80 rand or something like that a month to spend on myself. So I knew that 80 rand was just to get some toiletries and spray. I don't worry about luxuries, but I knew by by going back home is going to be much more difficult. Here, I have an opportunity. I don't know where it could lead, but I know going back, I might end up in jail. But this opportunity here, I don't know where it could lead me one day. And then, obviously, we trained really hard. And then 2 years down the line, I was, well, the following year, 2005, I got, oh, you want to talk about Tony? Okay. The following year, I got selected for the Griffins under 19. I was 16, no, I was 16, and I played Griffins under 20. The year after that, I played Griffins seniors, 7’s side. The year after that, I played Griffins for the seniors. So I was quite young and played a professional level of sports. Then this uncle, Tony Delora, you can just go to the photo. This man, he was one of the guys who really helped me along the way. There were some days I had to go to a bus station, and it was raining, and he was the guy come pick me up at our house. He had a red Hyundai. His window couldn't go down, so half of the window was open, and he had to get out of his warm bed, come pick up me in the rain while driving. The rain is raining inside his car, but we never knew where this could lead us, you know. But he not believed in me, but he knew by not taking me to the bus station, I might not reach my full potential. So this man played a vital role in my career, making sure that I get to the venues to play trials or make a team and make sure I'll be there on time. You know, obviously you need people along the way to help you to reach your full potential. And then one of the best coaches I've ever played with or coached me, actually not played with, that coached me, is Coach Paul True. Yo, if I when I talk about this man, I get very, very emotional, you know, because the year my dad died, he was the man who obviously spotted me, and then when my dad passed away, and he came to our house and obviously was there for my dad's funeral, and then after that, every single day of my life, he used to shout at me for other people's mistakes, but I never could understand why he was shouting at me. So maybe Kevin is making a mistake, then I get shouted for Kevin's problems. But I never questioned him. Only thing I knew, I just had to keep quiet and do my job and listen and absorb all the information. And I didn't even have a tournament that time. But he knew the potential that I have in me, because he knew the circumstances that I'm facing or that I went through. And he knew by being out of me, be making sure I'm on time, asking me difficult questions that I need to answer to make sure that he can get the best out of me and make use of that opportunity. And I'll never forget 2011, he told me, Cecil, if you want to be the best playmaker in the world, on your bad day, you need to have 3 options. And I was sitting there, I'm like, Coach, I don't listen to this lot of technical things you're talking about. Now just please tell me what it is. And then he never told me what it was actually. And then that bothered me that whole year. And then I realized he actually wanted me to go look in myself and find out what is my strengths, what is my weaknesses, and what is my teammates' weaknesses and strengths and opposition, to make sure once we play that I've seen this picture, I know what to do, I know what they're going to do or what we can do to manipulate the opposition. So Coach Paul True played a magnificent role in my career as a rugby 7's player and molded me slowly but surely to the young man that I am today, installing the great values of rugby. If it wasn't for him, gave me the opportunity to play rugby 7, then I never would have dreamed to be the first South African to be the best player in the world. You know, and thanks to him. Yeah, and then obviously in 2016, 2012, after the year I was the best player in the world, highest point scorer. I was the first South African to be the best rugby player in the world in 2010, 2012 actually. Then they said obviously rugby sevens is going to be in the Olympic sport in 2016. And in 2012, and I had a massive injury in my right knee. I tore my lateral meniscus, and then I was out for about 9 months. And then the specialist said that you might only play for 1 year or 2 years. You're lucky. And my dream was to play Olympics, and I knew this, and I was in the system. But this is the challenge I'm facing now. And then we sat as a medical team, a coaching team, with myself in the medical team, and discussed how can I achieve this goal by going to Rio de Janeiro in 2016 as an Olympian. And there was 2 times a week I was allowed to be in the field. Other times I had to be in the gym to make sure that my knee could last until 2016. Some days were tough, some days were nice. Some days you question yourself, do I have to go through this? Do I have to go through this? We all are human, you know, but once you make that decision, when I'm getting out of this bed, once I get to the field, go to the gym, all negative thoughts that I had, I left it alone, because that's not going to help me through this process, you know. And some days were really tough, but luckily I had a strong support staff, and I knew why I was doing what I was doing. And that is my why, you know, my mom, because she was the woman who actually raised me, you know. Sometimes we didn't have food, sometimes because my dad was a violent dad, and he used to chase my mom around, and one night we will sleep by my aunt or by my uncle. And that is why I got up every single morning, that God blessed me to make sure that I could provide for her and make sure that she has a nice warm house, you know. Along the path, days are going to be tough, and if you don't have a why, what you're doing, that every single day that God bless us with, there's someone better born. There's someone new that is born that are better than you. So everybody, if you don't have a why, once you run against that wall, then you need to remember why you're doing what you're doing, and that is what's going to push you through. And my mom was there most of the time, just thinking about the challenges that we faced when we grew up, and when training was tough, and I was just thinking about my mom, what she told me now, and how she would smile at me, even though there might not be food on the table, or we might be running in the rain. Every single morning when she wake up the next day, she will always have a smile on her face, and she never complained. And I never could understand. And then I realized she was just being a strong woman, you know. And I was blessed actually to see my mom only cry twice in her life, which was actually both was last year on the 75th birthday, where I surprised her with a morning breakfast with brothers and the brothers' wives and a sister. And then I just asked her to say something, and she couldn't really like talk because of what we went through as a family. And she was just so happy that we overcome these challenges, you know. And then it was December when I got married, and then there was a second time I saw my mom never cry, and there was tears of joy and proudness, and that's my why. And I was really blessed to have an illustrious career playing rugby sevens, and I've seen the world, and all I wanted was, as a kid, I wanted opportunity, and I got the opportunity, and I never looked back. And I always tell the guys, don't get ready, be ready. And when you train like it's your last opportunity of play. It's like it's your last time of playing, because you never know who's watching. You never know when it's your last day. Then you're gonna say if this and if that. But if you give every day your absolute best, and once when all is said and done, you can be satisfied and be proud of yourself in terms of the effort that you put in over these years. And that's my journey. And then obviously I was at the Olympics 2016. A beautiful experience. It's nice. A guy from Missionville grew up in a one-bedroom house, becoming an Olympian. You know, you see Michael Phelps, Rafael Nadal, Serena Williams, Williams, all of this top athletes in their different sports codes. Now you're under one roof with them. And I've never dreamed, but when the opportunity came, I was ready for the opportunity, and I made sure I was focused and disciplined to keep on working. Like me and my best friend, we used to train during school holidays. We don't know why we train. And there's a beauty about this. You will train when no one is watching, but you're not guaranteed that you're going to get that breakthrough tomorrow. It might be tomorrow, it might be 3 months, it might be 6 months, it might be 2 years. But there's one guarantee: if you don't train as hard, you won't get that breakthrough. So we just kept on focus on where we want to go, and then eventually we got our breakthrough. Even if we didn't get a breakthrough in rugby, but the discipline, the work ethic, the commitment, whatever profession that we would take in one day, we knew we would have the work ethic and discipline. So those are some of the guys that I've played over these years. Juan de Jong, Cecil Afrika, Roscoe Speckman, you know, all of us had this come and go to go to the Olympics, and eventually we did. Fiji were lucky; they were really happy that they didn't play us because they knew we were actually the only team that could beat them. The lesson that I've learned throughout my career, and there I just got the confirmation again, was that you only get so much opportunities within the rugby game. That is also said in life. If you don't take an opportunity in a lifetime, that opportunity is going to be gone. Like we scored the first try against Great Britain in the semi-finals. Then we had 4 opportunities after that, and then we couldn't convert it. Then England had Great Britain had 1 opportunity, and they scored it, and we lost the game 7-5. And that's how small the margins are. So make sure you're ready for your opportunity. It might come tomorrow, but you might not be ready. And you say, the coach doesn't give me a fair opportunity. But you gotta make sure that you put in the effort and the hard work when no one is watching. So once the opportunity comes, then you're ready for it. So that's my journey.